Hello YouTube, welcome to another video of Pixels by Angel. In this video we are going to recreate the Minecraft logo in real 3D. Now, the cool thing about that is that once you have it done, you can add any text to it, you can even add your name, create nice wallpapers with it, and also change the perspective as you want. So maybe you want to view from the top, from the bottom, from the side, you can change it. That's really cool about 3D. And changing the boring old logo of Minecraft to this will look pretty cool. Also, if you are on Patreon and you have subscription to my account, you'll have this source file for free. For this video we are going to use Blender and a little bit of Photoshop. Now you don't need any skills in Blender, I'm just going to take it step by step for you, and Blender is for free, so yeah, it's gonna be really easy to follow tutorial. Okay, so we'll try now to create a Minecraft logo in 3D style. So we'll use this as a reference. You can see this is done probably either painted or done in Illustrator or something similar, maybe some adjustment in Photoshop. We will try now to use an actual 3D software, so we can render it from any angle, from the back, from the top, from anywhere you want, from the side, and you can type any text and have it ready in just a few minutes after you create a source file. So let's open up Blender. You'll need to have Blender installed, and on top of the Blender you'll need to have the Minecrafter font, which you can find on datfont.com, because we'll use the Minecrafter alt font. Cool. Now you have Blender open and you have this main scene. First time you get here, you'll want to delete the cube because we don't need it, and you want to create a new text. Press tab and type Minecraft. Let's type it with lowercase because that's what the Minecrafter font will use to give us that nice shape of the A that you see here. So type it with lowercase, and when you're ready, go to press tab again and go to object data properties, go to geometry, first go to font and open here the Minecrafter font to where you saved it, and select the alt version. Okay, so we have the text ready, and at the moment it's quite flat. We don't have much. It's just a flat text that you can obtain in Photoshop or somewhere else. But if you go into geometry now and press on depth, say 0.01, now the extrude, you can play with this, and I think it's 0.23, 25 should be matching this pretty nice. I think that's fine. Next thing you need to go to object, set origin, origin to geometry. That's gonna give us this anchor point right in the middle of the object. And next we will move the camera to x0, rotation x, rotation z0, and we're gonna do the same thing with the font. So right click on it and set the z and the y to 0 and x to 0, so we have it right in the middle. Now we can move the z to where we want. Actually, let's set this camera angle to 90 degrees on x. Let's move this a bit up, and if you press numpad 0 you can preview it through the camera. Add a bit of rotation, probably about 60 degrees, and if you look on the sides on M and T, you'll see they're not really matching the M and T on the Minecraft logo. That's because, let's say you're a photographer or a filmmaker, you know that kind of distortion you get by using a wide camera lens, and we can do exactly the same trick in Blender. We can change the focal length to 22 millimeter focal length, and that's gonna give us that nice distortion on the M and T letters. Now if you move the camera closer, press again numpad 0 to preview, you can see we've got a distortion on the sides, and the logo is ready. We need to add some lights. Let's push this further down. I think I'm gonna move it here, and change the power to about 300 and the radius to 4. This is gonna give us a bit of contour, nice contour on the shape. You can preview the light by pressing on viewport shading. You can test it with different lights. You can even make it about 10. That's gonna give us a better and not so sharp light. So you see the light is gonna be a bit smoother in the back. Maybe you want to move it a bit down. So we have some shadows here on the M. I think that's fine. Okay, but still it's not very good. Like, light is not very good yet, and we need to add another one by pressing Shift and A, and go to light, area light, and let's move these pretty above the camera. Okay, set to 0. The Z somewhere at the top. Before we do that, let's just press on S and X and increase the size. So just try to match the size of the logo. It doesn't matter if it's a bit bigger, that's okay. And you can rotate it on the X, so R and X, or simply go to rotation on X and make sure this is gonna point straight to the object. I'll say let's move it further down, but make sure it's gonna point straight to the object again. And again, try to match the rotation with the object. So something like that. Okay, let's preview it again. And yeah, nothing's changed really, because we need to increase the power to about 600 or something similar. So you see now, you can see the difference actually. Maybe we need to push this a bit lower, because it's taking a bit from the shadow on M, and I want that proper shadow there. Let me adjust it a bit. I think that's a bit better, even though I don't like that. It's a weird shadow there. You can see right between the front and the bottom. So I think we can just leave the light where it was before. So you see there's not anymore that separation there. Okay, now we've got the scene mostly ready, and you can see if you press down tab you can change any text. So if you type, let's say John, it's going to change to John. So basically our template is almost ready. You just need to work a bit more on the scene. Let's type Minecraft back, and to make it look cooler we'll need to add material and also an environment light, and maybe 2 more lights on the side, but we will see that the later point if we need it or not. I think we can actually add a light. It's gonna give us a nice effect. So press on Shift A and go with light, area light, increase the size, by pressing on S, and let's move this right on the right, left, sorry. Let's point it to the object. Okay, something like this. Again, I want that to go straight through the logo. I'm gonna copy and paste it by pressing Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or Command C, Command V on Mac. Again, I'm gonna point this straight to the logo. Let's just have a quick preview, and again, nothing changed because of the power. We need to adjust it to about 100 should be enough for both. Okay, this is 100 and this is 100. Okay, I think that's gonna give it a bit more definition to the logo. Okay, so our scene is set up now. All we have to do is go to World Properties, go to, so make sure you have the surface background selected, go to Color and select the environment texture, go to Open and open the image that's available in the description of this video. So that's this wallpaper which I found with these nice colors. Go on and open that. Okay, I have it right here, and you'll see the logo now getting some of the shadows, some of the light from the background, but I think that's still too strong, and I'm just gonna use about 0.03. Okay, maybe that's 0.3, not 0.03. Okay, that's fine, looks pretty nice, pretty sharp. And I think the final touch will be the material. So if you right click on your text and go to material options, material properties, and say new material, and if you go on the logo, you'll notice there's like a light brown mixed with gray in the logo, so something like that. Let's try to match that in Blender. I'm gonna go try to select a brown color that's not too strong. Okay, I think that's kind of it. So if you go on Hex, you can copy the code from me if you want to get exactly that one. Cool, so now basically our 3D logo is ready. You can save the file, save the Blender file, and you can edit it at any time with any name you want. John, and just type my name. So yeah, just edit it however you want. I'm just gonna leave it Minecraft for now. And you can now simply render it, and we can open this in Photoshop and adjust a bit the shadows. So that's what I'm gonna do next, and I'm gonna catch up with you as soon as this is rendered. Okay, so I've done one of my renders right here, as you can see. And now I was thinking, because you know we've done something in 3D and we have the possibility to have every angle, why use just the basic one from the front, and why not give it a render from the side? So let me try to move the camera by pressing, let's just go to item here, transform, and just move the camera a bit to the left, something like that. If you press numpad 0, you can preview the camera as soon as you move it, as you move it. So I want something from the side, something like that actually. Maybe from the top, not that much lower. Okay, maybe a bit up. a bit closer. Okay, so let's render this and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, this is ready now. I'm just gonna save the image. Just gonna call it render2. I'm gonna save the Blender file, and this will be also available on Patreon. So if you are a subscriber on my Patreon, you'll be able to get this Blender file for free. Actually, it's not going to be for free because you have to pay a subscription, which is pretty cheap, about $6. So it's nothing for my work. And you'll also be able to help this channel grow. So yeah. Yeah, let me save this out, Minecraft 2. I've done another version before, so just to test it out. Okay, I'm gonna close this for now, and we're gonna open Photoshop. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, I think this image is pretty good, so it can be used. Maybe you just want to do cut it, crop it however you want. But I think it's still pretty usable. So it's not bad. It can be used directly from Blender, but yeah, I'm a fan of extra details, so I'm gonna open in Photoshop. And basically what we want first is to adjust a bit the shadows to match a bit more that. Okay, so I'm just looking now, just gonna copy and paste it so I have it here. Maybe if we convert this to artboard. Okay, and then if we have another artboard here, I can paste that so I can see it all the time. Maybe if we select this and move it at the top, that's gonna make it a bit easier to see it. Okay, so we want these shadows. Okay, let's select it using pen tool. Doesn't have to be perfect actually, but something like that. Go to selection, add a feather radius of 10. I think 10 is too much, so right click, make selection, and say a feather radius of 2 or 3 should be fine. And create a new layer and make it black. Okay, and then you will adjust like the opacity, something like this. What about soft light? Is that bad? Yeah, you can use a soft light. You can just like with this one if you want. So I'm just gonna do this real quick for the logo, like on the left and the middle sections, and then here a bit on the right, and then I'm gonna fast forward this. Okay, cool. So now our shadow is ready. As you can see here, there's the black. It gives it that nice definition, that nice it just makes it a bit more realistic. You know what I mean? This is without shadow, this is with shadow. Well, at least for me, I think it's making it a bit better. Okay, and another thing you can do is go to those adjustments and press on curves right here. We'll drag from the top a bit to the left, from the middle a bit to the bottom, and from the bottom a bit more to the right. Okay, just slightly bit, because if you move it too much it's gonna ruin it. So yeah, just slightly bit to the right. Okay, so we get that. Okay, now if you see here, if you go and zoom in, you'll notice there's also there are some details here at the bottom which we do not have. You can go on and add them by selecting it like that. Just gonna do it really quick, not very precise, but just to give it as an example. Okay, and make another layer, right click, go to feather and give it about a 4. Cool. Now with the new layer selected, take the brush tool, maybe a 180 pixels, and make sure you have the white selected and just paint over them like that. You want to go. Okay, and now if you go to overlay, or maybe overlay, but decrease the opacity a little lower, and move this but below curves. Okay, cool, we have that. So I'm just gonna call this layer light and this layer shadows. And you can adjust them as you want. Here, now decrease a bit light, something very, very subtle like that. Okay, now if you take the object selection tool and drag a selection to the logo, on the logo, you'll hopefully get this cool selection of the logo. So if you press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or Command C, Command V, you'll see you have selected the logo with some errors, but let's try to adjust them. If you're patient, you can even use the pen tool to do that, but I'm just gonna quickly change it. Just gonna quickly select that error and fix it. Oops, I don't know what I did. Okay, delete that. On here. Okay, we have that. It's pretty nice, I'll say. Okay, I've done that, so I can go to blending options, go to gradient, and from here you can create that brown gradient that I was talking about, that it is on the logo, and maybe just leave it like a gray. And actually, sorry for that, you can reverse it so you have that tint at the top, and if you go on the same layer, Okay, let's just restart that and go to, maybe just find an option that you think looks good. Maybe pin light. Okay, that's doing nothing actually, so never mind that. We can just leave it on soft light. Okay, let's try to adjust a bit the curves more. I want more shadow. Can't figure out exactly what's wrong. Okay, I think, yeah, I think that's nice. I like it. So yeah, you can just save it, the wallpaper, with your name or whatever you've written on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. That will help this channel grow, and that means a lot for me. And also I'll see you into the next video.